We can use pie charts to illustrate categorical data, and we can do them using one variable or we can use two variables. I've got the Titanic data open again here, and I've added another two columns right here where I'm simply considering the class of people who were aboard the Titanic plus the total count without regard to whether they were alive or dead. So we could create a simple little pie chart using these data right here. We go to the Graph tab, we choose Pie Chart. We're taking data from a table. It wants to know, Minitab wants to know where is the categorical variable. Once I put my cursor here, then all the columns become available. And the category I want is this thing I've called class of people. So I select that. It wants to know summary variables, and generally speaking, variables are numbers. So where are my numbers? They're in column C16, which I've called count. Now I can just let Minitab do its thing here, say OK, and this is what I get. But this thing doesn't show me what the actual percents are. If I mouse over, I'll see it, but the chart itself doesn't show me that. I'm going to shrink this down. And let's say we go in and do this again. So you can go into, if I remember correctly, labels. Under slice labels, you can get the program to show you the name of each of your categories, the frequency, and the percent if you want everything, or you could just choose percent. Let's say we choose all three, say OK. And here's our graph now. So here's my 4 different classes of people aboard the Titanic with the count and with the percentage. All right, so that's just a simple pie chart. In your notes on contingency tables and then how we excuse me, display those kinds of data, we're generally dealing with two variables. And in this case, I'm going to go back into Edit Last Dialog. But this time, I'm going to use the data that are in columns, I don't know, C11 to C13. So my categorical variable this time is called class, which is in column C11. And where are my numbers? My numbers are in both columns 12 and 13. That's people who died and the people who survived. I say OK to that, and let's go to labels, and we should already have things turned on here. In this case, I'm not going to bother with the frequency, which is the count, so I want it to show me category name and percent. Say OK. Under pie options, you can fool around with this, but I'd leave that alone. Let's say OK to this. And now what we get are two pie charts, one which shows us the percentage of people in each class who survived, and we get similar information here for people who died. So you're not really illustrating two categorical variables in one pie. What you really have here are two pies, and then each one of these variables is illustrated separately. So here I have the alive people are treated as one group, and the dead people are treated as another group. So in this way now we can illustrate two categorical variables on the same plot, but they're in two different pies.